How's everyone this morning? So what time is it where you're at? So here it is 7:45 in the morning, Mountain Time. Hey, Deb for Casey, an old lady who sells stuff. That's original. I like it. Stitching Granny's here. Deb for Casey. How you doing? So 9:45 Eastern near Philly. Where's everyone else? What time is it where you're at? Hey, Nancy, how are you? Good morning. Mick, Garrett's mama, welcome. So today we're doing walk and talk. So 8:45 in Kansas City. I wonder why that was muted. So Deb for KC wrote, great, and you, 8:45 CT in Kansas City. This message contains muted words. It muted her message. I can't see anything in there that would have been muted. That's hilarious. All right. So 9:46 in Atlanta, Georgia. The Thrifty Gypsy, how are you? Nice stuff for you. Welcome in. Good morning, Trish. Good morning, lovely Pinto. Welcome. All right. So today I have a very tight schedule. So I need lovely Pinto and everyone else at 8:40 my time, which is 9:40 or 10:40, to tell me I have to go, because I have a little raid train I'm doing at 9, and Red Rock Creations is doing a little 15-minute lead up, and then I'm the first show, so I can't be late. And you guys, for the first time, I was late starting a train the other day. It was so embarrassing. Oh my gosh, I'm mortified still that happened, because I was getting some stuff ready and doing some things, and I was just like totally lost track of time, because I was sitting there thinking, okay, I've got like I think I looked at about 10 minutes till, and I was like, okay, I've got 10 minutes. And then, oof, that 10 minutes flew. Bert said something to me, and I looked at the clock. I'm like, oh my gosh. I was 3 minutes late starting a raid train. How embarrassing. Don't do that. All right. Good morning, everyone. If you joined me yesterday, how many of you started on your homework of watching shows and writing down, why did I stay or why did I leave? Anyone start doing that? And if you didn't catch yesterday's show, it is on YouTube. I am multicasting to YouTube, so all my past shows will be there that you can rewatch. And I need to figure out how to go in and, it gives them the title of whatever I titled it on Whatnot, but I need to go in and see if I can retitle some of them so you'll be able to tell which ones were which. But anyway, if you didn't catch yesterday's show, we talked about how to attract customers, buyers, followers, and then how to keep them in your shows. So it's one of your favorite things to do every day. Oh, good. Good. So you're learning all kinds of new things. Yes. So you've started watching some shows. So awesome. So go to the YouTube if you did not catch yesterday's show, and you can rewatch it. And I gave homework, and you'll be able to see it because I held it up to the camera, a sheet that you can read. And in my show notes, underneath the starred bullets, I have a little speech face on there, icon, emoji, and then it tells you my YouTube channel, which is Draz on Whatnot, all lowercase. So, all right, thank you, lovely. You're awesome. So everybody make sure you go and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and then you'll be able to rewatch or watch again shows that we've done previously. So, all right. Welcome in Skylar and Tiffany Nickel and Jackie's Fabric. And I'm with her and Jenny Vick. And nice stuff for you. And Trish, good morning. Thanks for joining. All right, everybody read the show notes. I need to check on Whatnot Sellers because I know they have at least one more interview, I think, this month. Let me go look. So in the show notes, the first starred bullet is a reminder for you to follow the account on Whatnot that is called Whatnot Sellers. It's the official account that it shares community information. We've got one more show this month, the 26th. So that is, someone tell me what day of the week that is. Next week, the 26th, they're going to be interviewing the seller. She's One Oak. So I love those interviews, you guys. They're so awesome because you just learn a lot about what successful sellers are doing to be successful. And unfortunately, past shows are gone, but they've had some amazing interviews. And then on the second, so I'm just looking at that account. Make sure you go in and bookmark all these upcoming shows on that account. Whatnot Sellers. On the 2nd of April, they're going to do the product spotlight. That's where they tell you about anything that they've updated, the exciting updates that have happened, how to use them, etc. And then they've got a couple of other dates that they haven't put. They've got them scheduled, but they haven't put who they're going to interview or whatever. So anyway, make sure you have those bookmarked because they're definitely worth attending to, just really learn more about what other sellers are doing to be successful and also updates to the app. It's fun to hear from the actual employees, and usually those are hosted by Kenny, who is Silver Drip here on Whatnot. He also sells and also is the community support team for Whatnot, and he's amazing and just really a calm demeanor and very helpful. So, you are so welcome, Tiffany. All right, who joined us? Did I miss anyone that joined? Skylar Thompson. It's a Wednesday. Okay, perfect. So next Wednesday, make sure you have that on your schedule to watch that show. Hey, Chick from Texas, and Mr. Goofin, welcome in. Thanks for joining. Mary Liv is here. Thanks for joining. So everybody read the show notes. Hey, Heart Centered Soul, welcome in. And good morning to you as well. All right, so again, if you missed yesterday's show, it is on YouTube. My YouTube channel is Draz on Whatnot, all lowercase. And you can watch yesterday's seller chat that we did about attracting buyers and how to keep them in your shows. We just talked a lot about a bunch of different things. And there's a link in the notes, in the chat for that show on YouTube is the direct link to the document that I shared. And I would suggest that you go and click that link because it gives you the actual document with the links that are clickable. I just pinned it just now. This is what we shared yesterday, and you can screenshot it, but it's nice to have the actual document with the links that you can click. So that's in the YouTube, in the comment section, there's a link for it. So if you want that, but otherwise you can just screenshot this. So tap the document, tap it again, make it big. This is what we shared yesterday. There's 2 pages. Okay, and those are the tips and tricks for attracting and keeping buyers in your shows. That first page are the tips about things you can pay for to do. And then we talked a lot about free stuff that you can do. So that will be, on that rewatch if you want to rewatch it. All right. Hey, Timeless Jules, welcome in. So I was asking if anyone that was there yesterday has started doing their homework. Your homework was to do a 24-hour lead up or 48-hour lead up to a show that you already have scheduled. And I wanted you to do some things. One was to try and improve your thumbnail and your title to make them more attractive. And then also, at least 24 hours before the show goes live, to add a video to your show to show people what you have coming up in that show. So, did anyone start working on that? And did anyone start working on watching at least 10 different shows you've never been into before and write down why did you want to stay or why did you want to leave? So, yeah. So, Tiffany says she watched A New Seller. How did it go? What did you learn? Okay. So, everybody's, if you didn't come yesterday, go rewatch that show on YouTube from yesterday. My YouTube channel's in the show notes, and start doing that homework and give me some feedback. All right. Let's see. I have that attracting and keeping buyers document pinned. So if you want to screenshot that, then you can. Oh, you're looking forward to watching that. Good. Yeah, I thought it was a good session. I felt like a lot of things we talked about. My motto in that show yesterday was making something ordinary extraordinary. Taking something ordinary and making it extraordinary. Items you sell, your show itself, yourself. What can you do to make something ordinary extraordinary? So that was kind of my motto of the show yesterday, because honestly, we need to show people, tell people, be able to demonstrate to people why, what is the added value to coming to your shows, to the items that you sell, to you yourself, and etc. And so that's kind of what we talked about. Hey, Lisa by Design, how are you? All right. So we did that. Let me pin my top 10 tips. I was thinking about my top 10 tips list this morning, kind of in that same mindset of what can I do to make this list more exciting. So I'm going to work on livening this up a little bit. And one of my favorite new hobbies is using AI. I love it. I'm addicted to using AI. It's so much fun to take your ideas and put them through AI and have it produce something for you in nanoseconds. It's freaking amazing. If you haven't used Chat GPT and or like Canva, which does, you can use Canva to do your thumbnails, and they have an AI feature on there. You tell it something that you want visually, and it creates the most amazing things, you guys. It's so much fun. Now, it's limited to what you ask for, and you have to tweak it because sometimes it doesn't understand how you worded something and comes up some weird stuff. But it's so much fun. So AI is pretty amazing. It just really takes what the human brain can actually do and speeds it up by millions of times. So it kind of is just really exciting to me. So don't be afraid to use AI to help enhance what you can do. because you can use Chat GPT to give you ideas, give you outlines, give you themes. It can help you organize things. You just have to kind of tell it, I'm looking for a theme for a show with these types of items in it, and how can I organize it? And I mean, you would be amazed what it comes up with. It's so awesome. So don't be afraid to use AI. Okay, who joined us? Just something about it. Thanks for being here. Mad Bag is here. Mama Reet times 3. Mrs. Tylons is here. Welcome in. Hey, Caroline, Shop, welcome, and Desiree. So read the show notes. And also, I've got pinned my top 10 tips for sellers. If you're new to me and you haven't ever screenshotted that, tap the picture on your screen of that item that's for sale, not really for sale, for $1,000. It's just my list that you can screenshot. So tap the picture, make it big, and screenshot this top 10 tips for sellers. And yes, I am walking on the treadmill while I chat with you. I encourage people to get exercise, maybe walk or do your yoga or something while you're listening to this show. All right, so top 10 tips. These are the things that you need to be doing consistently on Whatnot to be successful. And the speed at which you do them will determine how quickly you're able to grow your business on Whatnot. And everybody has different goals, everybody has a different schedule, everybody has different availability, and so you need to do what makes sense for you. So if you want to be on Whatnot selling, but you can only do a show once a week, that is 100% okay. Just do all these things consistently and make that one show a week the most amazing show. Okay. So if you want to grow exponentially and have Whatnot be your full time, then you're probably going to need to be on the app in some way every day. Interacting, having shows 4 to 5 times a week, doing just all kinds of things to really grow fast, because that's how you grow fast. So it just depends on, what you want to do. So KMC says, I have 2 new Attack Swimmer shows this weekend, and I'm also doing a short segment in my first raid train on Saturday. Yay! So everybody give KMC a follow. How was I not already following you, KMC? And let's go bookmark those shows. So tomorrow, 2:45 on the 22nd is the raid train. 10 times the fun raid train. Very cool. And then we've got one on the 22nd again, the 28th, the 29th, the 5th, and the 12th. Okay, what is KMC doing right? She has all her shows scheduled out so that everybody can bookmark them. And especially when you're having a show, it's so important to have more shows scheduled so that people can bookmark your upcoming shows and see what you have coming up. So KMC profile here, very nice. And she's got all those shows scheduled out. She's also got her Instagram listed there so that you can go follow her on Instagram. So very good. That's important. Put your social media contacts on your profile so people can go follow you on the other platforms, not platforms, other social media. It's important, possibly, if you can, to have something similar to your username on Whatnot so that it's kind of seamless across all your accounts. Yes, her thumbnail is very nice and clean, looks good, and you've got a place. What I'm noticing about her thumbnail is it's consistent, and then she has space to list on each thumbnail what she's actually doing in that show, which is good. And so, KMC, that homework I gave yesterday could very easily benefit you hugely, which is 24 hours before the shows go live. And you can even do it for today if you have, because your show's a little bit later today. Add a video that shows what you're selling. Just add a little video that scans the rack or scans the shelf or features a couple of really nice items you have. So your 5 favorite swimsuits, hang them and show them, and yeah, do something like that to just really feature what you're selling, and it will enhance that show. Will that video play while she's live? No. So when you add a video, it's just part of your thumbnail, and it plays for everybody who looks at that show before it goes live. Yeah. So I mean, try it out and see what you guys think. It did make a difference. Hey, Creative Cries 44 raided us. Thank you for the raid. Everybody give Creative Cries 4. Is it like Creative Chris like crystals? I'm guessing it might be that. Let me view your profile. Jewelry made to order. So yes, it's creative like crystal. Very cute. And she has a scripture on there we all need to go look up. Colossians 3:23. You want to tell us what that says? And she has shows scheduled. So we've got one tomorrow. Everybody bookmark Creative Chris for us. Very awesome to raid. And I always try to call people out and go give them a follow and bookmark their shows. So thank you so much for the raid. And everybody give her a follow. All right. And go bookmark those shows. So Vintage Artifact says, I add a video after I stock my shelves the night before a sale. It increases my bookmarks. Yes, Vintage. That's what I said yesterday in my show. And I would try to do it if you can 24 hours before, but anytime before, as long as you do it within, a few hours of the show is better than nothing. But just really grabbing people's attention with that video and to show what you have is going to be huge. So everybody work on doing that. And I know it's hard, you guys, because life is life, and finding time just in between shows, shipping, and all the other stuff in your life. I get it. It's hard to to curate a show and have it ready enough time before, but it will make a difference. Try to schedule your time so that you have the time to do that. And as I'm preaching this, I'm saying the reality is it doesn't always happen. Doesn't happen for me either. But as I'll tell you that when I do those things, it makes a big difference. It still makes a difference, even as a more established seller. It makes a big difference to have a show already loaded with all your items in there and have a video, and you'll get more people in your show. It's just a fact. Welcome in, everybody. Hey, Amy. Hey, Native Glams. Melvin. Welcome. And hey, CG Hooligan is here. White Rose is here. Stockgo is here. All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining. And Yola Classic Goods is here. Thanks for joining. Okay, I've got my top 10 tips pinned. If you haven't seen that before, tap the little picture of the document that I have, not for sale, just for show. Bring it up big. Take a screenshot of the top 10 tips for sellers. These are all the things you need to be doing consistently to have success on Whatnot. I mean, there's other things that are important too, but those are like the main things that if you aren't doing these main things, nothing else matters as much, because you're not going to be on track for being able to be an effective and successful seller here on the app. Another thing that a lot of people are stressed about is shipping. I just pinned the Shipping 101 guide, and please figure out shipping. It really isn't that bad once you figure it out. It's pretty smooth. But take the time to really, as a new seller, take the time to get your shipping set up and figured out before you start doing shows, and then tweak it as needed. But if you don't have shipping figured out, you're going to derail yourself before you even get started. Because shipping needs to, that's how people get their items. If you have great shows, but you can't successfully mail people their items and fulfill, you're going to fail from the start. Make sure you understand how the shipping works. There are tutorials on the Seller Academy. There's the Shipping 101 that I just posted. Go through all of that. Here's my very brief description of how to figure out shipping. My little brief verbal description. Pay attention. If about 85 to 90% of what you sell is going to fit in flat rate packaging, flat rate, not priority, flat rate priority. I know it's confusing. The post office offers priority, and they also offer flat rate priority. They're two different things. Make sure you understand the difference. So I'm talking about flat rate. If about 85, 90%, whatever you're comfortable with, is going to fit in flat rate packaging, you're going to want to have your shipping settings set so that everything that is 1 pound to 5 pounds will ship flat rate, and everything 5 pounds and over also ships flat rate, and that the buyer is going to pay max of $9.21, which is the current flat rate. So if 85 to 90% of what you sell will fit in flat rate packaging, that's how you have your settings set. Why? Because it gives you the reduced shipping icon on your thumbnails. It shows people that they can get a better shipping rate in your shows, and you get all the free packaging from the post office, and shipping flat rate is so much faster. You just put in the size of the box. You don't have to weigh it. You don't have to put in the dimensions. You just pick the size of the box, the flat rate box you're using, either the bubble mailer, the small, medium, or there's two different mediums, or the large. You just pick the box and save and print the label. It's so fast. So that is if you can do that. Now, if you cannot use those because less than 85 or whatever you're comfortable with are going to fit in flat rate, your settings need to be 1 to 5 pounds priority, not priority flat rate, priority, and then 5 pounds and over ground advantage. And the reason for that is because it gives you much more flexibility with the sizes of packaging that you can use, because you just don't know what people are going to buy. Also, if you're using those settings, you most likely need to have the buyer pays all turned on, because you can't put a max, because people are going to need to pay for those larger packages over 5 pounds at the ground advantage. You do have 5 free adjustments. every week. That is correct. Touch of style. You should have 5 free adjustments. And it's probably because the packages that you put in were over the dimensions or over the weight. And there are certain adjustments that even those are not valid for your adjustments. So you need to learn more about that. If you're using flat rate and priority, the max dimensions can be 12 by 12 by 12. So if it adds up to more than 12 by 12 by 12, it's going to charge you more. For Ground Advantage, the max dimensions, the three the 3 sides of the box cannot add up to more than 130 inches. Okay? So you've got to know all this information. So if you had adjustments that were way outside of that, that's why. Okay? So you have to pick boxes that will work. You have to structure your shows so that you're not selling really large, bulky items all the time that you have to mail in huge boxes, because it's not going to work. Okay. Let's see. Was it because I generated a new label? So yes, if you have to generate multiple labels outside of what it calculated and bundled, you probably just used your 5 free adjustments up so fast you didn't even notice it. I'm not sure. I'd have to look. But yeah. So just something about it. I feel like most of my individual items are very light, but people often buy multiples. Should I still use the flat rate option? So just something about it. I cannot answer that for you other than to say, if you feel like about 85 to 90% of the time you're going to be able to bundle them, then yes, do flat rate and then use your 5 adjustments on the off chance it won't fit. Okay, in flat rate. Can you go over 5 pounds when doing flat rate? So if you're doing flat rate on both 1 to 5 and 5 and over, then yes, because you can put up to 70 pounds in a flat rate box. And how many of you have ever sent anything that was over 70 pounds? I have not ever exceeded about 20 to 30 pounds. So yeah, if it fits in a flat rate box, you can ship it in a flat rate box as long as it's under 70 pounds. And you would be hard pressed to find something that would fit in a large flat rate box that's more than 70 pounds that you would actually sell on this app. Okay. I mean, engine parts, I don't even think those are allowed, you know? All right. So I'm at 24 minutes. I need to watch the time. I have to end at 8:40. All right, vintage artifacts. I started doing priority for 5+ pounds so I can use free priority boxes and get boxes to my customers sooner so I can get paid sooner. Yes, you can do that if you feel like most of them will fit, because you do have more options in priority than you do in flat rate. The large priority box measures 12 by 12 by 8.5, I think. And so it gives you a couple extra inches of space than the flat rate box does. So if most of what you sell will fit in priority boxes, then you can do the priority. Just keep in mind it's charging people priority rates versus Ground Advantage rates, which are cheaper. So it depends on, your customers' willingness to pay the higher rate, because priority over 5 pounds is more expensive than Ground Advantage over 5 pounds. The 1 to 5 pound priority is $9.21. It's when you go over 5 that it starts charging more. Okay, so just consider that. Yeah, and on Ground Advantage and regular priority, you have to put in the dimensions and the weight for it to calculate the correct price. So you've got to make sure that you've got the right dimensions. And you can use the free boxes from the post office for priority, but you cannot send Ground Advantage in the free boxes. It has to be your own packaging, either your own poly mailer or your own box. The only ones that can go in the boxes from the post office are flat rate, priority, and priority, regular priority. Those can go in the free boxes and packages that the post office provides. All right. Anything else specific about those kinds of things? All right. Yeah. Ask your questions in the chat. Put a question mark so it shows up bold. And, if there's things you need to talk about or ask about, ask away. Let me pin the envelope shipping guide while we're kind of on the shipping. So if you would like to use plain white envelope option to send giveaways that are stickers, small value gift cards, trading cards, anything that's flat and small that can go in an envelope, plain paper envelope, you can utilize this envelope shipping to do that. You can also use it to sell certain items, but be careful about what you sell using the envelope shipping because it is not tracked and it does take longer to get to your customer. So you be very careful with the few items that you decide to sell. I would do like sticker sets that are gift to chat kind of things. Those would probably be safe to do because you have to make sure people understand it's not tracked and it's going to take longer. And you don't want a lot of bad reviews because people are unhappy about how long it took to get shipped. That's a consideration. Also, it cannot be valued at more than $20. So if you want to utilize that, I use it for giveaways. I think it's a game changer because it allows me to still do giveaways without spending, $4 to $8 with every giveaway in the shipping. So I can do follower giveaways and spend just 73 cents to ship those. And sometimes it's less than that if they already bought something. Then it's free. And you can also use it on buyer giveaways if you want for stickers or things that are flat. But if they're a buyer, they already bought stuff. So I try to be a little bit more generous on my giveaways for buyers. But the key with setting that up is to make sure that you follow everything in that guide, because if you don't, it won't work. You have to have it turned on as an option in your shipping settings, and then you have to make sure it's turned on in your shows that you already had scheduled, because it won't automatically update to your shows that you already had scheduled once you turn that option on. And that option is just in your shipping settings. So let me show you on your account. So you'll just go into your main account and go to shipping. And then in domestic shipments, right here, the very first thing is the USPS first class mail letter. That's the plain white envelope option. Make sure that's toggled on in your shipping settings. And then if you want, again, to use it in a specific show you already had scheduled, go do the same thing in that show. Go open that show, edit show, scroll down to shipping, and turn it on. Otherwise, you won't be able to use it. Okay. And then you need to make sure the item that you list as the giveaway has the category of stickers, trading cards, or sports cards. Those are the only three categories that you can use to mail things in paper envelopes. Okay. So if you want to do those, make sure you screenshot that envelope guide and follow the instructions. So just tap that picture and take a screenshot of that and follow the directions. You can also look it up in frequently asked questions. That's where this information came from. Just go to frequently asked questions, type in envelope shipping, and it'll bring this up. It has links to the post office and all that. It's got the dimensions. So yes, you're sending transfers, which are like stickers. Yes, 100% that's okay. And just use the sticker category as your category. And yeah, as long as it can go in an envelope, a paper envelope. You cannot send those in a poly mailer of any kind because it goes through the post office's machinable letters, and it has to be able to be paper so that it doesn't get caught up in their machines. Okay, so you've got to use paper envelopes. All right. So yeah, that's 100% okay. I know someone who's sending little face masks, the kind that come in a little foil pack, that you open and add water and put on your face. And it can fit in an envelope and it's completely flat. Beautiful. Works. How do you switch between flat rate and ground? After or before, Woody? So before you send stuff, your shipping settings just need to be set for flat rate if you want to use flat rate. So you go into your shipping settings that I was just showing, and then you update it there. So you go to your account, go to shipping, and then your domestic. If you want to use flat rate, change domestic to flat rate. And if you want to use flat rate in the over 5 pounds, so under 5, over 5, just change it to flat rate. But then you need to also update that in any existing shows. Now, if you're talking about after the fact, so after you have a show, even if you have your settings set for 1 to 5 pounds priority and 5 pounds and over ground advantage, if it fits in a flat rate packaging, you can still use flat rate packaging. Just toggle it on. My only caution would be if you had it set for ground advantage over 5 pounds and then you toggle on flat rate, the customer then overpaid, probably, because you're toggling on flat rate $9.21. And if it was over 5 pounds and they paid ground advantage that was more than $9.21 and you can fit it in a flat rate, you should have had, you can still do it, but they might notice that they got overcharged for shipping. And there's no way to reimburse them, you guys. Whatnot just doesn't do it. They'll just tell you, well, that's what you had set for shipping. Okay? But you can toggle it on the back end and use flat rate. And if you had priority 1 to 5 and it's a package that weighs less than 5 but over 1, toggle on flat rate. Yeah, do it. Because that's what they paid is $9.21 anyway. Right? Does that make sense? Okay, so if your items are usually too big for flat rate, then yeah, it doesn't make sense to have flat rate turned on the front end because you're usually not going to be able to use it. But on the back end, you can toggle it on and use the flat rate packaging. And the way that you do that is when you have your orders open, you just scroll all the way to the right, click that little pencil, and it brings up the edits to edit that package, and just toggle flat rate on. Because its flat rate is toggled off if you don't have it set for flat rate. Just turn it on and then pick the box that you're going to use off the menu, the flat rate box. And then that's all you have to do. Yeah, you're welcome. All right. Let's see. Any other questions or comments? Do I have OBS turned on? No, I do not. I haven't ever used OBS yet, but I am live streaming to both YouTube and Facebook. So, and I've just got I use multiple devices when I run shows. But OBS is what you'll see if you go into a show, and like up in the upper right, you can see the person, and then on the actual big screen, you see what they're doing down at the table. They're using OBS to split the screen. You can learn how to use it. I don't know. I do maybe want to use it, but I'll be honest with you. I find shows like that very distracting. It's like it's fun to see their face, but it's kind of like, where do you look? You know? I don't know. So I have mixed feelings about trying it. And a lot of people have lots of glitchy problems with OBS still. And so I haven't been super excited about learning how to use it because I'm like, why if it's just going to be glitchy? So I don't know. I think if it gets really improved and maybe they change things around on the screen a little bit and you have enough room, maybe I'll look into it. I do like the idea. I just haven't felt like the value is there for what I sell and what I do yet. Because the thing I'm kind of attracted to is the idea of still being able to see me, my face, because I do my shows with my face showing, and then be able to show close up on the table what I'm selling. So I like that idea. But like I said, when I've watched shows where they're doing that, I find it very distracting. Because I'm like looking at them talking, and then I have to look down. And by the time they've already run it, I forgot to look at the table part, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I'm kind of still trying to decide if that's something I want to do. If you want to learn about OBS, D Archivist. So the seller, her name is DEE _ I'll try and type her in here. Let's see. D Archivist right there. She's a master. She's a tech person. She loves tech, and she has YouTube videos under that same name about how to do a lot of things. She has one about how to live stream. She's got OBS stuff. She talks about techie stuff in her seller chats. She does mixed times, but she's often on late at night, like sometimes even middle of the night. She's kind of one of those narcolepsy people, you know, that she can't sleep, she's on whatnot. So, but she does a lot of techie stuff. So if you need help with that, go watch her. All right, I have 5 minutes, you guys. What are your burning questions for today before we go find someone to raid? If there's anything you need. And again, please read the show notes. And please go subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can watch and rewatch any of the seller chats that I do. And I am on every Tuesday and Thursday on my walk and talks where I'm chatting with you while I walk on the treadmill. And then a couple of times a month, I do seller chats where I'm in front of the camera. Yesterday was one of them. If you missed that show, go rewatch it on YouTube. I thought it was a pretty good show. So we had a good chat about all kinds of different things that you can do to attract buyers, keep them in your shows. I gave you some homework to do. Those of you that were there, give me some feedback about how that went or how that's going. Hopefully you're working on it. All right, let me just go see, go out there and see who we're going to raid into shortly. And yeah, everybody make sure you're following the Whatnot Sellers account, all lowercase, Whatnot Sellers, all one word. And bookmark those upcoming shows. It's the official community account for Whatnot. And they come on about 4 times a month and do those shows that are really good. All right, let's see. I think we'll raid into Hodgepodge. She's doing Whatnot Tips and Tricks. It's her Therapeutic Thursday show. So we'll go raid into her. She's fun. She's always got good tips. And she's a good example of how to make ordinary extraordinary. Because she's just a person like the rest of us. But she has so much fun. She's scatterbrained. She's kind of crazy. And people just love to watch her. And, you know, I mean, look at her. She's doing gangbusters at just being herself, honestly. And just making it fun and lively. And she wears costumes sometimes. And she, you know, does voices that are hilarious. And she's just a lot of fun. And she does marathon shows sometimes that are amazing. So, yeah. So we'll go right into her in just a few minutes. So ask your last questions, anything you want to chat about. And or if you want to share your shows so that people can go bookmark. And let's see, Lily Lane says, in a granny chic home decor Sunday evening. Very cool. So granny chic home decor. Everybody go click on Lily Lane and let's go bookmark that upcoming show for her. They'll let me. Here we go. Granny chic home decor raid train. I've already got it bookmarked. And look at how many bookmarks she has, you guys. She's doing a hot. She's doing good. So, and she's hit her 1K recently. Very cool. And she's already at 10,000 followers. So that's awesome. So you're rocking it, Lily Lane. All right. Any other questions or comments before we go and raid into Hodgepodge Place? Let's see. Let me just check and see if I missed anything. And anytime you're in my shows, in these shows, just go on the auction tab. So just hit the shop button, the little shop button, and see how you have auction, buy it now, giveaway, sold, offers, whatever. So go into the auction tab, and all the documents that I share are there. You can click on them at any time to screenshot that information. Okay? So just, you know, always you can do that when you're in my shows. So anything I have in there to share, just, you know, go in and grab those at any time. So King Kim has a makeup close, let's see, this Saturday. Makeup close. So everybody give King Kim a follow and go bookmark her upcoming shows. Here we go. Oh, I love your pink, everything pink thumbnail there. That's very attractive. Well, of course, I love pink, so that's not hard to make it attractive for me. But your thumbnails are awesome. I like the consistency and very cute and very on point for what you do. So very fun. All right, let's see. All right, anything else? All right, we're going to go. Let me get this raid started. Everyone have fun and have a great day. And we'll see you soon. So here we go, creating a raid over to the Hodgepodge place. Here we go. All right, see everyone. Have a great day.